3 months ago, we did a full comparison of the Realme GT Neo 3 and the Redmi K50, and they were probably the best Android phones with great value for money to buy in the first half of the year. Well, today, we will find out best phones to buy under $500 in 2022 with a matchup. And now, let's give a passionate welcome to today's two cowboys, the Redmi K50 Ultra and the OnePlus Ace Pro, the later of which is available outside China as OnePlus 10T. The design of both phones obviously comes from their flagship products, and if you have already had a Xiaomi 12 or OnePlus 10, you will definitely feel familiar. So both of them didn't really work on their appearance design. But if I have to say something, I slightly prefer the design of OnePlus model, which has a new texture on the back cover, providing a unique touch and greatly preventing fingerprints. In terms of available color variants, OnePlus offers two different styles to choose from. I think most of OnePlus fans would still go for the black version because it has a really cool surface texture, while Redmi offers richer options. The AMG co-branded model really looks different, but the other variants are pretty boring actually, since we've seen enough Xiaomi 12 and 12S. They are very similar in size and weight, but when you hold them in your hands, you will immediately notice that the Ace Pro feels better in your hands and your fingers won't snag while playing games because there's a smoother curved transition between the camera module and the back cover. Another detail I want to point out is that OnePlus has placed the volume buttons and the power button on each side of the phone, so it is easier to achieve some operations by using a combination of buttons with one hand, such as taking a screenshot with them. The screen upgrade is a major selling point of the K50 Ultra, and they called it in a super strange way, the new 1.5K resolution display. This sounds really confusing and doesn't really make sense. But actually, all you need to know is that it's a resolution a little lower than QHD, but a little higher than FHD, which is not exactly an innovation for smartphone displays. Actually, we've seen that the Huawei P50 Pro also uses a similar resolution, but never heard of the word 1.5K. So why can't Xiaomi just call it FHD Plus display? Make it look like the Apple style for advertisement? Anyway, compared to the Ace Pro, the K50 Ultra looks slightly sharper when displaying small text, and it also has a higher screen brightness. So leave the strange 1.5K alone, and the K50 Ultra indeed offers a better display here, no matter for indoor or outdoor uses. But what I must say is that the higher resolution and brightness is not the most important thing. What really deserves your attention is that the K50 Ultra supports high-frequency PWM dimming, which means it can effectively avoid damaging flicker issues at low screen brightness. The fact is that you can't see these flickers with the naked eye, but they are real and some of you might easily feel them. So at least in terms of the screen, I can say that the K50 Ultra completely beats the Ace Pro. The power and efficiency of Snapdragon 8 Plus is undeniable, but since we've tested more and more phones with the Snapdragon 8 Plus platform, we've discovered that even though Qualcomm has returned to the arms of TSMC, if you want to build a phone that can play any mobile game without worry, you still have to put some effort into the thermal design. So for today's two new challenges, who can better tame this dragon? Normally, we would show you the result from various benchmarks first, but today I'll put the game frame rate test up front, and you will find out why later on. From these gaming tests, we can see that frame rates are very close, and it is clear that current mobile games are no longer a threat to the Snapdragon 8 Plus. The real difference lies in the phone's temperature. Perhaps due to the larger VC vapor chamber inside, the Ace Pro's surface temperature during gaming is significantly lower than that of the K50 Ultra. Now let's go back and look at the benchmark. I was expecting they would perform closely on benchmarks, and yes, they are. As you can see, they both achieved a very close result to each other and other Snapdragon 8 Plus phones as well. But when I ran the 3D Mark Wide Live Extreme test on the K50 Ultra, the test was terminated due to overheating and the phone closed all background applications. Not just once, but 3 times I tried. And the K50 Ultra just couldn't complete the test, either in balanced or performance mode with the latest software version. This means that if there are future mobile games that require higher performance, this K50 Ultra may be easier to be knocked out by heated issue. Also, in this hottest summer, the Ace Pro can provide a more stable experience. I don't know if Xiaomi will be able to fix this in the future software update, but at least for today, I would vote for the Ace Pro. Now let's talk about the camera. For these two budget phones, we only need to focus on their main camera. Trust me, you really won't use the other two lenses on both of them, especially their 2 megapixel macro lenses, but luckily at least their main lenses are still good. The 108 megapixel CMOS on the K50 Ultra looks stronger than the 50 megapixel CMOS on the Ace Pro, But in reality, you can hardly tell which is better in terms of detail from the samples we shot here. What's even more embarrassing is that when you turn on full pixel mode in the K50 Ultra, you will find that the photos are still not as sharp as the Ace Pro, even though it has only half the pixel of the K50 Ultra. Considering that one of the longest thing Apple has stuck with over the years is using Sony sensors, it's probably not hard to understand such a result here. When it comes at night, the Ace Pro takes even more impressive photos and we can see better dynamic range and colors. No one knows exactly how many IMX-76 the Oppo group purchased from Sony, but as the saying goes, what goes around comes around. And in terms of photography, they really beat competitors at the budget level with this sensor. The Ace Pro supports greater charging power than the K50 Ultra, and as a compromise, it has a smaller battery. But from using it these days, I found that both the performance of the battery life and charging speed are very close, with the Ace Pro being faster in the first 10 minutes of charging. Considering that they don't support wireless charging either, you really don't need to get too tangled up in power solution. Today's contest ends here. In my opinion, the Ace Pro finally wins the trophy, and at the $500 pricing, OnePlus made a better choice. With a better design, better main camera, insane cooling solution, and most importantly, up to 16GB of RAM storage for option, which makes the Ace Pro really a new flagship killer. As for the K50 Ultra, until the end of this video, I still can't figure out why Xiaomi didn't bring them on 12S. No matter the 2K screen on the K50 or the 1.5K screen on this Ultra version, for the Redmi K series, they really should have spent the money on the camera and cooling solution, as it should have been a flagship killer. So that's all about the comparison. Thanks for watching this video. So what do you think of the K50 Ultra and Ace Pro? Which phone would be your choice? Please leave your thoughts down below. I'm Will from Gizmo China. See you next time.